No, because see, this particular industry is totally based on the skill set of the people. Okay, it's not based on the political or any non-political issues. It's totally based on the skill sets. It's also depending on the clients that we are catering to. Okay, so nothing to do with any political or any trade-related issues or any even your forex related issue as such, right? So they might be something else altogether, but the other organizations that I've been working with, or other the way I've got colleagues, I don't see that happening. Rather we see uh, intercompany transformation of work going on, transition of work. That if one company has got too much of work, they just pass it on to someone else so that they can take up newer work. But nothing of that sort where work from the US is getting stalled because of any political or non-political or trade issues. No.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Can you move to the next slide, sir?
Yeah, please.
Which one you want me to move?
Yeah, the next one. Yeah. I think the fund administration challenges. I think working people, I think I will leave this slide open to the working people. What sort of challenges? Just go through this slide and see what sort of challenges you guys, enter or you people face on a day-to-day basis. Again, this is the challenge that maybe the one that I prepared over here. These are basis my observation on again some observations based in the industry, but is there any specific challenge that you guys see? And I'll be more than happy to brainstorm here, because I think challenge is something that keeps us evolving over time and years to come, right? So just wanted to make sure that what any specific challenge that you guys see over and apart from what is mentioned over here.
I think we have many working professionals here. If you guys want to unmute yourself and
Okay,
participate
can we
in the
go
discussion.
can we go to the next one? I think that's more relatable. The next one. Yeah, this one. I think the first point that is there, that too much of dependence on Excel sheets. Will you all agree to this or not?
Yeah, I have worked in the hedge fund accounting, and our day starts with Excel and ends with Excel.
So imagine yourself in a position where you prepared the entire fund. You save the fund. The next day you open it, the fund is gone for a toss. The entire Excel has gone for a toss. The formatting, everything has gone for a toss. Has that ever happened with anyone?
It happened with me, sir.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Yeah, it has happened with many of us. It has happened with me also. Okay. So that's why. Okay. Disintegration between systems and various teams. Okay. You have got a team which is doing the reconciliations. You have got a team which is doing the valuations. There's a team that is doing the internal rate of calculation. There's a team that is doing the entire the fund accounting piece. Okay, so three different sheets come to you, three different Excels come to you. Which one will you rely on? You'll end up preparing a fourth. For me, Excel sheet for me. Trust me, many of us do that, right? Many of us do that, right? So these are the disintegration between teams that basically are the biggest challenges. And again, these are challenges, but these have also been rectified in many places. Okay, where we have had teams working in silo modes. We have now brought in teams which should work internally or rather collaboratively, right? Risk and compliance requirements, adherence to risk and compliance. The many of the places where we see, we have not done a proper KYC, we have not done a proper conflict check, and we have started working on that particular fund. Okay. Integration between various ecosystems. There's an internal tool, there's an external tool that goes to the clients. Okay, everything is not under one particular roof. Okay, there might be certain funds which are very old, right, going on from maybe from the 19th century, they are on a different platform. New fund comes in, you're working on a different platform. So these are the main, big challenges that happen. An obsolete technology. There are many fund houses which are still using an old Geneva version. Okay, technology is not has not been upgraded. Okay, okay. Uh, uh, Companies not embracing technology. Okay, there are many organizations that have still not embraced technology, and yes, they are still doing it manually. The work is still getting done manually. Okay, so these are the key challenges that are affecting this industry, and this is where people like us, if you're properly getting a proper certification, if you're really hands-on with what you know, and in the interview board when you go and see what are the challenges that your process works, and this is what we did, this is what sets you apart from the others. Okay, you should know your challenges first. Always try to come out of your comfort zone. Every day you go sit on the system, do your Excel sheet, come back home. What value add have you done? Nothing. That's everybody. Everybody is doing it. Come year end, that it becomes a Pandora's box to open. I don't want to open it, but that's what it happens at the end of the day, right? What is it that you have done differently, right? So challenge is something you have to challenge yourself also.
Aditya has raised his hand. Yes, Aditya, please go ahead.
Hello, sir.
Hi.
Sir, we mentioned about obsolete technology. Like, if you can define what type of exact technology does the industry need? Like, what is the current system and what features would you want to see to be implemented so that the work becomes better and efficient?
If I again, this is a two-faced question. Okay. If I talk from the client's viewpoint, client wants, I just want to click a button, I will see everything in front of me. Finished. I want to see the end product. I don't want to make the picture. I just want to see, go to the movie hall, go and see the picture. But from a person like us who is sitting behind the screen making the reports, we want a technology in terms of where it eases our workload. Okay. Now again, in terms of doing I will give you a very simple example. Reconciliation. Reconciliation is a pain point for majority of the organizations. Even the leadership in organizations, you just have to reconcile two sets of data. So simple. Okay. But give us the tools, right? What are the sort of tools? The tools is not going to reconcile till the team. We have to understand how the reconciliation mechanism works. Okay. They are tools which will basically help you sieve out the differences, help you out to identify the differences. The rest all is matched. Good. Say you get 1,009 items, 959 items match. Okay, good. Good to go. Process. Finish. That you finished in maybe you were taking 6 hours to do it. You get a technology in place. It can be done maybe in 1 hour's time or maybe in half an hour's time. The next 50, the breaks where you're getting, that's where you have to manually go and intervene and find out. So if you are using technology which helps you to do the sieve out the things which is taken care of itself, that is fine. But the ones where you really need to identify yourself, that is where you need to spend more time. That's where comes your basic process knowledge, your product knowledge will come into play. Okay. Even in doing fund reporting, you are preparing the entire fund piece on Excel, then putting that on a Word doc. At the end of the day, what does the client see? What does the investor see? The investor just sees the PDF. He's not even seeing the Excel, but you're still working on Excel, and majority of the time you're wasting on preparing that Excel. If you get a technology where Excel is taken care of and the PDF comes out in a final output, we just need to tick and tie your balances, whether the concept applied is correct or not. It's saving so much of your time, right? But that's where who will drive the technology? It is you with your knowledge needs to drive the technology. The end number of technologies available in the market today. Okay, everyone has its own pros and cons. Okay, but you, as I told you, you over the years when your role evolves, you'll be doing testing, you'll be doing onboarding, you'll be doing transformations, transition. That's where your role gets defined. But technology will always be a part and parcel of things. Now, which technology? That becomes a bit difficult to understand.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Sir, there is another challenge which I feel is a challenge. I'm not really sure where we have a dependency in the multiple teams. For example, there is a bits and pieces which are outsourced to a third party, bits and pieces which are kept with captive, and we are totally dependent on third party, and then captive has to start working on that. Do you think that can be considered in these challenges?
Yes, very much. It is a very big challenge. So there are certain aspects where, large fund houses, as they want to, onboard more newer clients, maybe they want to do something totally different from the particular task they were doing earlier. They've handed it over to a third party or maybe to another vendor, and this vendor is not maybe doing a proper job in terms of reconciliations, in terms of doing the accounting aspects of it, and then they give it to the uh, other teams or to the original fund administrator, and where a lot of errors are identified. So yes, this is one of the major challenges that we see in today's world, because we're seeing that reverse engineering is happening where you know bits and pieces of work is now getting outsourced to a vendor management services. Apart from these large GCCs coming up, we see the vendor model also coming up now, multiple vendor model.
Absolutely. Can you move to the next slide?
Uh,
Yes, please.
Hello, sir. Just one question.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hello, sir. Good afternoon. With regards to
Yeah.
the evidence for compliance and the regulatory requirements, if we take for these as a challenge, so considering in the today's there have been major development for the major IDs which have been that is, so from the fund administrative point of view, how does these compliance and regulatory requirements are being? So, could you elaborate with any of the practical example which you have
I
faced?
see. So you're saying regulatory requirement as a challenge?
Yes. So because this was the concern which I have majorly faced due to the major evolution for the FINRA or with the other regulators, since a major of
Mhm,
the devolution for the major IBs, that is Credit Suisse, which was being done. So I
mhm,
was working with UBS on that. So
mhm.
that way the major regulations came part, which with the increased transparency, or but in that that to have better transparency as well, we have better regulations, but at some point of time, do these hinder the daily process, or do they carry out the these process on a very higher note? So I just wanted to understand from
Yes.
fund administration point of view how it will be tackled.
Yes, a very, very simple example. I'll give you one of the examples that we at Deloitte have been facing. Okay. Now,
Okay.
Deloitte is a very large organization. Okay.
Correct.
Deloitte
Correct.
has multiple offices, multiple entities. Okay.
Hmm.
Now,
Hmm.
we had an entity in Hong Kong, of Hong Kong Deloitte. Hong Kong
Okay.
Deloitte was basically doing managing one of the fund houses. Okay. I'll not
Hmm.
name the fund house, was managing one of the fund houses, and they were basically, they did not want to do that job, and they wanted to transition that fund down to us. Okay.
Okay. Understood.
So
Hmm.
as a regulatory and compliance, since India Deloitte has a different entity, we had to do certain risk and compliance and conflict checks. Okay.
Correct.
So this is a thumb rule that even if it's coming from Deloitte internal, we have to
Hmm.
run that. Okay. Without running that, we cannot onboard this client.
Right.
When we did that compliance check, we found out that it is already an existing client of ours. It's an audit client of Deloitte India.
Hmm.
That means it's a direct conflict with us.
Hmm.
So imagine
Hmm.
this, tomorrow you get that client onboarded. If we had not done this, and if we got this client onboarded with us, it would be not only a penalty, it would be a risk where Deloitte would lose its license of doing audit work in India.
Correct. Correct.
So that's the
Understood.
amount of risk. At the same time, it's a loss of business also to Deloitte India entity.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
This we could not do it. So this was a challenge that, tomorrow a work comes to us and we cannot take it up because it's a conflict client for us. It's a
Correct.
risk. It's a
Right.
risk also at the same time, but we have to forego these things. Okay. So we did not onboard that client because it was a direct audit
Correct.
red flag. Okay.
And
We
that
have
will
to pass
indulge
it
in
on. So
conflict of interest
yes,
as well. Correct. Correct.
correct. The
Okay.
conflict of interest. So that's where, this is a challenge where, if it becomes a conflict for us, how to do that work? I will not be able to do that work only tomorrow, right?
Yes. Understood.
That's how it becomes a bit of a problem. So say, for example, a major IB, okay, a
Hmm.
major IB wants to onboard a client, maybe say from Europe, but is
Okay.
unable to do so because that IB does not have maybe a proper license or does not have there's a regulatory watchdog which debars it from picking up that work. It won't be
Correct.
able to, right? So tomorrow, say, for example, tomorrow there's a GCC that comes up in Pakistan. Just again, taking an example. Do you think the US will be able to give some work to Pakistan, given that the way the way the Pakistan ecosystem is? No, right? It's a loss
Correct.
for that country and for that company that's regulating there, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Right. Even in terms of picking up some of the Sharia law funds, which are basically originating in the Middle East, some are originating in the Malaysia and Indonesian sector. There's a huge conflict that happens between these two sectors also, because the Sharia laws are very different between these two countries, right? So it becomes a
Yes.
conflict for them. So that's why it poses a direct challenge.
Understood. Okay. Understood, sir. Thank you.
Sir, can you move to the next one because we are running short of the time.
Yeah. I think after the next slide, I think we'll pause.
Yeah, we'll open for the questions maybe.
Yeah. Again, this is something just coming out from the previous slide where, what was the major trends that are happening, the digital transformation space where we see a lot of transformation coming in various forms and shapes. Okay. Maybe it's a customer requirement. Maybe it's a requirement by the bank itself. Maybe it's a requirement of the process itself. So it depends upon what sort of requirement it is, and accordingly, the transformation keeps on happening. Okay. Next one, Sayed. Okay. So again, I don't want to dwell much on this. So these are the various aspects that we had covered so far, and what basically are the platforms or what are the driving forces behind each and every processes. Okay. I've not taken any names of any applications because again, various firms use various applications. So do not want to name them. Next one. Sayed. Yeah. So these are the basic reports that basically go in. And again, working professionals, I think they are very much in hand with what happens over here. But for the folks which are fresh to the industry or are they just freshers, you'll understand, what are the things that basically go in, okay, in doing the stuff that we do. When you talk of fund reporting, talk of valuation reporting, when you're doing of capital reporting. So these are the reports that you will be working on a day-to-day basis. So think of it that you are where you would be in this industry, what your role will be in this industry, okay, at each and every stage. Anything separately that you want me to touch upon here?
I don't see any question coming because this is a very technical discussion. This whole slide would take at least 4 to 5 hours of time if
Yeah.
you're trying to get into deep
Yes.
dive in each point.
But I just wanted to show the group that what all things basically go in at each and every process, because I think the working professionals are very much aware of it, but freshers need to understand. They might be just thinking what is going on, but this is what technically happens on a day-to-day basis in the fund administration industry.
One thing which I can share, even you would agree with me, being as a fresher, if we work for 30, 35 years in a bank, global bank, we cannot work in each team with the global bank is having. Because if you give 2 years to each of these roles, it is very difficult to cover all of the roles mentioned in this slide.
Right.
So industry has a lot to offer.